Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Survival is the battle of speed in the wild. The first to attack is not always the first to win, turning the effortless hunts to dramatic combats and ending the intense battles in an unexpected way. Hold on to see the action-packed, thrilling encounters of the animals which no one would have believed otherwise. Let's begin the endless animal fights with this brutal encounter of an octopus with a shark. The defensive ink of the octopus coming out of the gills of the shark really showed how quick and wild the attack was. Not only others, but octopuses can't even stand each other. Okay, I am not sure what's actually going on here, but apparently these two have got some serious issues to resolve. With its blue mode on, the octopus is ready to deal with any impending danger, especially the crab beetle. Well, I won't call it a danger because these pincers are literally going to be the octopus's next meal. A strike with these powerful tentacles becomes the end of the crab. Guarding its burrow is the mantis shrimp, and headed towards the defeat is, obviously, it's the octopus. Overestimating its abilities to deal with the hammer claws, the octa-handed soon realized its mistake. But the mantis's power show has just started. The octopus somehow survives the fatal strikes and retreats. Camouflage? Doesn't work. Defense? Fails. And don't even consider fighting an option. Actually, nothing stands a chance when a mantis shrimp sets its eye on something. This time, it is a crab. Unaware of its fate, it ends up being the victim of these mighty claws. There's no end to octopus misery. It might appear that the armed animal has got it under control, but let me tip you off with one thing here. An octopus never wins. Okay, it may sometimes beat the others, but that's just not the case here, and you're about to see why. The eel is waiting impatiently for the octopus's arrival at its desired spot. The octopus, on the other hand, considered the worst possibility and came prepared. It took several failed attempts for the eel to realize that it had failed, but it finally did, and retreated back into the ocean. Here I've got a worth-watching sea battle full of amazing dynamics. Moray eel zeroed an octopus, but did not expect the ink release. And just like that, the octopus escaped the sharp teeth and disguised again in the reefs. It took an eternity for both the opponents to realize that they are equally powerful. But if by any chance you are doubting the skills of the snake, you've got to see this one! This desperate shark did a distressed chase towards the stingray, but each stingray failed in front of these fast reflexes.
Yeah.
There is a reason why orcas are considered dangerous, and here's the proof. A group of 5 orcas mercilessly attacked the whales, and the big gray fish wasn't able to save itself. It certainly was an easy win for the orcas. This squid aimed for tough prey this time. With the owlfish in its mouth, the squid struggled for a long time. It was actually trying to carve its beak inside the owlfish. but the rough scales made it almost impossible. What happens is still unknown, but I believe the game is still on somewhere in the depths. Who would win if it's a shark versus turtle? I'd say luck, as it's the only way to escape those ferocious jaws. Okay, let's just not ignore the fact how fearlessly this turtle fought. This tiny sea turtle was tired of the burrows and left for the ocean, even if it meant to meet the crab in its way. The turtle was ready to face the difficulties. It even tried to beat the crab, but unfortunately lost to the pincers. There will never be an explicit end to a python versus alligator. It's because the python has to be comparatively bigger than its usual size, and the gator must be adult to win the fight, which rarely happens, and the battle continues. Unless it is a Burmese python who can gallop the entire gator in a single shift. Once a mongoose has entered the territory of a cobra, there's no going back. Either it's a success or the battle ends in the mongoose's own demise. But isn't the cobra worth a risk? The predator makes its first move, and the battle begins. Nearly surviving the venomous jaws, the mongoose foresees the outcome, ends the battle, and retreats. A parentee has zeroed the Australian sprinter, and the epic chase is about to begin. Well, the kangaroo is not an easy target itself, especially in the open fields which double its normal speed. And that is the final leap, indicating the predator's shameful defeat, while the kangaroo celebrates its victory far from danger. This incredible power show includes a caiman and a family of otters trying to cross the river. Things took a slight turn, and the adults were facing the frustrated crocodile. The intensity of the underwater scuffle increased, and although the odds were against the otters, they managed to scare off the predator and forced it back into the wild. It was a successful hunt for the crocodile until the buffalo showed who it was messing with. Just that easily, it pulled the massive croc out of the water and failed the predatory attack. This time it was a Nile crocodile who got itself into a fight with the buffalo. But, well, don't we all know how it ended? Either today is not a lucky day for the crocs, or the zebras are not scared of the ferocious jaws anymore. What should have been an easy meal for the crocs became a real struggle for them when the striped animal began fighting. This one did not even bother its leg clamped in the jaws of an alligator and struck with the other one. Wrong place? Wrong timing? Either that or crocodiles just don't rule the water anymore. It all started when the crocodile made a failed attempt on the elephant calf. That was the limit for the mother tusker, and it began smashing the reptile. Nothing seemed to be helping the River King, and it was forced to go back. Known to hunt with a single leap, Jaguars don't really give their opponents a chance of a fair fight. A similar thing happened with the caiman, who was unaware of the ambushing predator. It only took a few moments and it was game over for the caiman. This one took the previous defeat of its fellow quite seriously and planned a revenge. I see it and I want it. This rule doesn't exist in the jungle anymore, especially for this exasperated impala, who turned this easy catch into an intense battle for the leopard. Although its fate was already written, the antelope put up a tough fight. And don't even get me started on this one. At one moment, the impala was facing its end in that deep burrow. The next, it comes out alive as if there was no leopard there. This has to be the most incredible chase in animal history. I mean, the wild boar literally outran the agile animal. Let's don't even discuss that last. Game-changing turnover that transformed the predatory sprint to a survival rush. Because, well, I think it still distresses the imperious leopard. This series of slight scuffles are just over the meal, but confronting a leopard is still an impossibility for the vultures. Irritated by the disruption, the leopard finally gave up on its hunt. Don't consider it the end yet. Here is the final interruption, and the food belongs to the king. Guess what? Gazelle are not the dumb prey animals anymore, and leopards are no more the sharp, agile hunters too. It expected the struggle, anticipated the run, but the only thing which the leopard overlooked was the muscle of the antelope. Eventually, the long brawl ended well for the gazelle. It doesn't matter how many times I watch this video. One thing I just don't get is what exactly went on in this tiger's mind when it attacked another equally powerful tiger. This tiger dared to attack the bear cub, slaking its thirst, but instantly bore the consequences of the wrong move. The bear mother on the same waterhole confronted the ravening tiger. The long brawl continued for some time and at last ended with the tiger forced out of the way. Here is another one from the terrific comeback of the bear opponents. This time, the bear chose a cougar to be its misery. It took the risk to enter the mountain lion territory for the newly born cubs, but did not contemplate the outcomes. Lucky for the bear, it realized its mistake soon and left the mother alone. This might be the only time we get to see the terrifying faces of the lions. Watch how they all sprinted towards the shore, scared of the swiftly moving hippo. Well, not to mention the third one who returned as soon as he saw the frustrated mammoth headed its way. Crowded by the hyena clan, the old lion is trying its best to stay alive. But dealing with 20 of them at the same time is quite hard. I'd say it's impossible for the frail lion. Confronting their constant strikes, the lion is now losing its strength. It was only a strike away for the hyenas when help arrived. Another lion appeared on the scene and the hyenas were forced to move. A clan of hyenas is fine, but a badger is what terrifies this lion. Badgers are a bit more aggressive than the hyenas, and apparently the lions know this. Here's another herd of lions scared to attack the feisty animal. Rarely meeting in the wilds, lions and tigers only meet in captivity, and no good can be expected from their hostile meetups. This tiger is making sure the lion learns its lesson of never to mess with it again. Things can sometimes accelerate in the wild, or must I say that this monkey has leveled up the game. The tiger was just calculating the consequences when the monkey jumped over it, and let's just say it was a bad day for the tiger. This one here. Well, there's not too much to add, but rumor has it that the tiger is still on the tree, waiting for the monkey. Okay, let me tell you what happened here. Buffaloes dared to drink from the same water hole as the lions, and apparently that was against the rules. They grabbed the calf during the chase, and it began the dramatic efforts. Lions easily dealt with the mother buffalo, but things got out of control when the rest of the herd joined. The battle ended with the lion's hunt for the calf as it returned safely.
Oh my God. She's going for him, she's going for him. It's standing up, she's going.
The first to fall is the first to lose. With this rule in their minds, the giraffes fight hard to win. Don't ask me why, but it all starts with a single push and the endless scuffle begins. Sometimes ending after a slight brawl, it often triggers them and ends with one of them losing the scruffy fight. There is only one reason behind the ruthless fight. The Ganacos are doing it for a female, as there is only one for the two of them. Victory means dominance in the herd, and defeat is unknown to these bachelors. These anarchic fights do not end until one of them gives up. These social animals almost never fight unless they need to protect their territory. Like here, these two were caught in the middle of an intense brawl for the same purpose. Trapped in each other's horns, none of the two was willing to let go when the third one interrupted, forcing them to stop. I am not sure of what really happened here. The only thing I could make out is that the cougar got scared of the deer's muscle.
This is such a great thing for standing us in. I mean, I think people, you see the excitement.
This moose was already a big hunt for the young wolf, but it went for it anyway. Beginning an endless fight, it carried on with the chase. It took several failed attempts for the wolf to realize that the game's over for it. A special stunt for the tourist or a routine for these dragons? I'll leave it up for you guys to decide. This duo was seen fighting over a small fish. Confronting the continuous attack, the seagull was not letting it go. But a little aid from the fellow proved helpful, and the pelican won the fish. Not always for the food, but pelicans just can't stand any other bird, especially eagles, whose efforts of release failed in front of the gaping mouth. Here is another one from the aerial battles. This time it is the puffins who were attacked by the gulls. Protecting the sardines in their mouths, they fought for their lives. Sadly, no one escapes these ferocious hunters when they have their eyes set on something, but don't include the puffin in it, who outfly the gulls. This mother puma's desperate decision to attack the 3 guanacos eventually became its misery. One thing which protects them in these vicious attacks, other than the enormous size, is their fur-covered necks. But the puma had to learn that the hard way. There was nothing she could do other than returning after its defeat. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. Nothing stands a chance if it has a shark as its opponent, but don't count the octopus in it. Now, let me show you why I have said this. Here is a shark headed towards the octopus resting on the corals, who, by the way, is aware of the predator approaching it. 3, 2, 1, boom! The shark made its first and final attempt, but regretted it the next moment. Because the octopus made it quite clear who rules the water here. It was just a matter of seconds before the octopus swallowed the entire shark and enjoyed the easy catch. See you next time!